Live from beautiful Ohio, it's the OK Boomer podcast featuring siblings, the real Jean and Laura.
Hello, hello. I'm Jean.
And I am Laura. And we are here to encourage all you boomers, millennials, and everyone to be happily okay. How are you?
I am beyond happily okay. So great to be back with you for our first full episode in 2020. What is it? 2020?
Two.
2022 already. Two twos. So Happy New Year. Probably saying this for the last time, right?
Happy New Year?
Happy New Year.
Probably. I mean, maybe sometime in February we could still shout it out for fun.
Sounds better than saying Happy Groundhog's Day. But we could.
Well, they are cute, so we'll see.
We could say that too. So how have you been?
How on earth?
Oh, been. How have you been? How have you been? Remember last time in the bonus episode, you talked about your fabulous new
bins. I've been doing pretty well, and that was a very clever segue into that. I'm so clever it almost went over my head. I have been pretty good with it. I don't want to say I've cheated a few days. I don't know if like a little old Christmas bag filled with bills and various papers counts as a bin, but I'm doing that as well. I can't tell you how much stuff I have. I mean, I've literally got plastic bags. They're counting as a bin. Just anything that I can pick up that holds a bunch of stuff is a bin in my mind.
And you're actually taking this somewhere. You're not just putting it in a different room of your house.
Most of the time. It's a slow process, but I'm getting there.
And have you started the Bin of the Month Club? Has that actually started?
No, but it could start at any moment. I just know the kids are excited about this.
Yes. I'm surprised they haven't been like texting you or saying, when's it coming? Or
no. So far they've been laying low. I just remember at Christmas when we first brought this up, I could see some of the kids like looking very worried and concerned and kind of whispering to their OHs, like, do we have room for this? I think they think it's serious. And it is, you guys. It's coming.
And it is. So tell us more about your week.
About my week. All right. Well, I mean, nothing super exciting. I'm sort of reflecting on a few things that happened over the holidays, chatting with my millennials, of course. I had to chuckle after Christmas gifts were all open and we're sitting around chatting, which is a good time. My one millennial daughter looked at us all and said, "You boomers made life look fun, and we weren't transparent enough." And then she said, "It's hard work having to be Santa," which I just thought was so funny. And yes, it's like, so we did. I applaud all us boomers. We made it look easy. And here they are now being us. It's kind of fun.
So, it's really interesting because for some of them it was either their first or second Christmas with a little family, right?
Right. Where this was, I mean, the baby was 2 weeks old last year at Christmas. So this was her first actual, having to be Santa and get gifts and surprise. I mean, she's still very little, but right. But I thought that was an interesting statement. We were not transparent enough. We made it all look easy. So there you go. But she'll do the same thing. She'll make it look easy. And life goes on.
And have fun. And I have to ask you, what's the transparent part mean? What does that mean? Transparent.
Oh, this is a word we need to be using in our everyday language, where we're like, we're known, we're showing what we really think, what we really feel, what life really is. We're not covering things up and making it all seem great. We're being transparent, showing our inner feelings or truths. It's a nice term today. I feel pretty trendy when I throw that out in conversation.
Yeah, it caught my ear.
Yes, it did. It did.
All right. What else, dear?
All right. Well, just a couple other thoughts. I always have thoughts. When chatting with, because we have older millennials and we have younger millennials, like 26, 27 are the younger ones, and then the older ones would be more mid-30s. The older millennials picked out of these two shows the ones that they remember the most. Full House. The younger millennials, their preferred show was SpongeBob.
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, and so we asked around, and it seems like younger millennials like SpongeBob, older millennials Full House. And I must say, as a parent of more of the younger millennials, SpongeBob was always on in our house. I don't remember watching Full House, so just a note, just a comment.
Nickelodeon was always on in our house. Yes.
Yes. And look how far Keenan's come. So, all right.
Oh, yes. Kudos to
Keenan.
Yeah.
Now, another thought that we discussed, and this is a serious. Well, first off, I don't know if she's still going by the time this is published, of course, posted out there in the world. But there's a gal on Jeopardy that's doing real well, Amy. Like, she's doing fantastically. Anyway, our question was this. When a subject comes up on Jeopardy, we're getting that Jeopardy hat. Are you with me?
Trying.
When a major subject comes up on Jeopardy, that is your major in college. For me, it's chemistry. Do you get more stressed out when you're watching it with your OH because you feel you should know the answers?
Is this something to do with transparency?
Yes, of course. Now, my one daughter
I would not feel that way.
Oh, yes. Like if it was a great authors of the world, wouldn't you feel a little more stressed watching with your OH? Maybe not. Maybe it's just us. I discussed this with my one millennial daughter, and she so agreed. She said, yes, when the science and chemistry questions come up, I feel way more stressed to answer them correctly. Anyway, that's my life.
Thank you, Laura. My, I am processing that. Oh my.
I'm sure there are others who experience these things. All right.
So I hope not, but you're probably right.
Pretty much my week. Carry on.
Oh, you want to hear about my week?
Yes.
More like my month, I would say. I'm going to tell you about our Christmas trip to Florida. First time we've really done that.
Yes, we missed you.
For the holidays. I missed you too, but I think it was good for our family this year. Like you said, it's been a ride, hasn't it, these past couple of years. So I think it was good for us. We took our younger millennial son. First day we're there. We walked down to the lazy river. Wonderful. I get myself settled on my little float. I'm starting to float. First song I heard, because they have music piped in, of course. First song, as the sun's out, I'm floating, I hear Ode to Joy.
Lovely.
And it really set the tone for a happy vacation. I thought, I am feeling joyful, and the first song I heard was that. And
Perfect.
I love floating around listening to all the Christmas carols and holiday songs. Of course, we also listened to all of them driving to and from Florida, so I know every word and verse, right, of every song between 1940 and now.
Yep.
But that was fun. And I have a little funny boomer story.
Do tell.
We met a great grandma in the pool. And she was a lovely woman. She actually called out to us as we were floating by. She was sitting on the steps and probably wanted someone to talk to. So she hailed us.
Yes.
And turns out they had just come with their pretty big family. It was her husband, her children, grandchildren, and even a few great-grandchildren had come, all to celebrate Christmas down in Florida together.
fun.
They rented a 15-passenger van, so she was pretty dazzled by that.
Wow.
So after finally, all the commotion and trouble of getting everybody there and settled, she and her husband decided to sneak out early for breakfast, to have a quiet breakfast themselves, kind of
course.
recalibrate, right?
Right.
She left her phone in her room. That's fine. When she got back, after this nice little time with her hubby, there were 10 calls from her daughter on the phone.
Okay.
10 calls, frantic about where she was.
Where is great grandma? Oh, that's funny.
10
That
times.
is funny.
And she just kept, this lovely great grandma woman just kept exclaiming, I'm just so perturbed about her. Why would she do that? Why would she think we couldn't go out to breakfast?
But at least they care.
They did. And it was fun to see them, throughout the days they were there. They were all having a good time together and all ages having fun.
Nice.
We also met another lovely family. This was just a mom and dad and 2 kids. And they are going to Dubai next month.
Oh, how cool would that be?
Apparently,
I'd like to go.
Really cool. I would like, and they'd actually been there before, so they were able to tell us quite a bit about it. So what turned into just a little simple hello as you floated by ended up being an hour-long conversation with them.
Maybe a little more than what you wanted, but
no, it was actually fascinating. They have done many things. So right, Dubai is now on my bucket list.
Sweet. Well, I'm glad you had fun chatting with people down there. Dubai.
I did.
God.
Yes. One other thing, as I said, my younger son came, and we actually got along very well during vacation. That all went fine. Except turns out he can't handle hearing us order things at drive-thrus.
Why?
Well, it's kind of a frazzling time for us. My OH is usually the one who's ordering, right? Because he's usually driving. And he can get kind of flustered and irate and hard to remember. So when we pull up, first we're trying to scan the board that I have trouble kind of seeing from my position in the car, right? So I'm trying to look. And of course, we're looking for specials or meal deals, right?
Right.
So then we're discussing that. And then we pick out the meal deal we want, and then Paige can't remember the sandwiches that we actually picked out. Did we want the fish or did we want and he's trying to explain this to the et cetera. And when we got done and got our food, which really wasn't our worst time, we've been far worse. Our son just said, I can't even order anything. I just can't stand to hear you do all that. Just don't order me anything.
Although now that you say that, I have been in the car in charge of the drive-through order with millennials, and you're right, we're bad at it. They're so much better at it, and it's hard for them to listen to us order.
Well, how are they so much better? How are they better?
Because they're just better at all these things. They just are. Sorry to say they are.
So they can just drive right up and immediately say, like, I want a tall mocha latte with extra shot of this and that, and they just say it right out.
Yes, because they probably have already looked it up on their phone and know exactly what to say. But we're driving, so we can't do that. Anyway, they're good at stuff.
They are. Well, now we're going to hear from some more boomers and even some Gen Xers, a few millennials. We're going to hear I thought it would be fun to hear what other people's predictions or resolutions are.
Oh yes, because we discussed ours.
A call out to some of our biggest friends, not size wise, but they're very encouraging friends, is what I mean to say, of the podcast. Everyone wrote back right away, so thanks to them.
Thank you.
So without further ado, first there is going to be a further ado. Sorry, have a little further ado. You had sent me a tweet that one of your millennials found.
Yes.
Which read, New Year's Eve 2020, this is going to be our year.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve 2021, it's fine, back to normal soon.
Yep.
New Year's Eve 2022, dead silence with uncertainty.
I know. I think that's so interesting. And I think that was a big tweet that went all around. And I think that's how our dear sweet millennials feel. Can you blame them?
I can't, but I thought, I think we can cheer people up and do better than that. And that's one reason why I asked all our great friends to share their thoughts with us. I thought, I think we could do better.
Nice.
So from another millennial that I know, I think this is a pretty safe prediction.
Yep.
They said there will be another Kardashian divorce this year.
Oh gosh, there's so many all the time. That's probably a pretty safe
that was a safe one. Then from a Gen X friend who is Jessie.
Yeah.
You can find her at jessiecahalan.com. She's the Books in Handbag blog, and I promise I really am going to do show notes and have these all written out.
Good.
Books in Handbag blog. She lives, as I think you know, she lives in Wales.
Yes.
And just as a side note here, I actually made it past the Welsh New Year. I stayed up past the Welsh New Year.
Nice.
Which would have been at 7 p.m. our time, right?
So yes. So good for you. All right.
Yeah. So anyhow, she has lovely thoughts and resolutions. She says this is their big one. They're going to resolve to sell their house and begin the rest of their life in Yorkshire.
Wow.
They also want to plan to see more people face to face this year. She wants to send more letters and cards to friends. And she wants to climb a mountain before they leave Wales. And the mountain is called Pen y Fan, I believe. Pen y Fan. She's going to take a luxury picnic and sit down and look at the scenery and reflect. And she resolves to laugh more because she thinks she's become too serious. Which sometimes I worry about that with myself. I think I may be too serious. I agree.
No.
I agree, Jessie. So that's Jessie at Books and Handbag. Then we have another, actually younger boomer friend. And she says, first I wrote a little asterisk note. I recommended a book to her to read. She and I are kind of we share book ideas.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be a great book. I think it's going to be the next book I get you. It's called, I think it's called Life in Chemistry, but it doesn't come out till April. So I'm trying to figure out the title again by then. It was such an amazing, amazing book. And it has the word chemistry in it for you. Don't let that pressure you because you're a chemist. Don't let that pressure you. And I thought Beth Ann has to read this book. And Beth Ann's who I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I texted it all to her or messaged it. And she wrote back and said, yeah, sounds like my kind of book, but I'm really busy this week. It was the week before Christmas. So she said, I'll get to it. Like a day later, she writes back, she's already read and finished it. That's how good it is.
Wow. All right.
Right. So look, you can look forward to that. But Beth Ann, who is at a blog called itsjustlife.me, Beth Ann says she doesn't do resolutions at all.
Good for her.
Okay. She does pick focus words.
Okay.
Which I think some people do. And she's going to reuse her words from last year, which I don't know if that's in the rules. Can you reuse last year's words?
You can do anything you want. Go ahead.
Hers are hope, celebrate, nurture. Maybe she could at least change the order of them.
You could do that for 3 years, and there's all kinds of combinations.
I like it. So she's got to spend time with family. And then I like this one because so now we've heard from people who make resolutions, people who don't. Here's Jane O'Brien, the great time travel romance writer. I would look her up on Amazon and see her Amazon page for all the books she's written. So she has not made resolutions in many years, but she's making them this year.
Okay.
She's going to do things that truly make her happy. Now, she's not going through bins. That's what you're doing.
Yes.
She's going to play the piano every day.
Nice.
Right. She's going to read, kind of like what I came up with, read books you really want to read, and she's going to get back to quilting.
Quilting. Something
Yeah, what do you think of that?
Never done. Impressed with people who can. So good for you.
I agree. I would probably just be happy to watch people do it. Watch people quilt.
I'd be happy to just cut out squares.
Oh, that. Now we are pretty good at what are they called? Those fleece blankets?
Yeah, we can handle the fleece blankets where you cut the little lines and then tie them.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. We could start out with that. We could fill a bin of those.
We could line our table for our handbells with the fleece blankets.
Oh, that's even better. Yes, we want to start a handbell collection.
Yes, we do.
Performance. All right, another boomer. You ready? Veronica Klein Barton, a multifaceted author who writes novels and short stories. And hers, you're going to like this one. Short and sweet, okay?
Yeah.
Enjoy the things you have with the time you can.
That's a very good one. That's good to remember.
Right. Enjoy the things you have with the time you can. And then I saw Gretchen Rubin, who does a very, very, very popular podcast called, what is it called? Happier?
Happier, yes. They're great. She and her sister. Yes.
Yes. Well, every year she sort of sets some kind of resolution kind of thing based on the year. So like in 2020, you had a list of 20 things to do, 21.
She does that, yes.
Yes. So obviously it's 22.
It is.
This year, she wants you to rest for 22 minutes a day.
I wonder what resting means.
Well, what does it mean to you? Because I thought of you. I thought this would be a great resolution for you.
But resting. See, resting to me, I would still want to do something because I don't do well with all the meditation stuff. I would have to, I'm into euchre now, so I would probably be playing euchre on my phone. That would be my resting.
No, I don't think that's resting, but
well, to be determined. All right, but good for her.
We may have to talk about this. This would be interesting to talk about. And then last but not least, the spectacular Bibiana Krall, author, and I'm going to call her a creative visionary.
That's well said for her. Yes.
Her predictions, entrepreneur is going to be the #1 job in 2022.
Oh, that could be.
Right. Hoping for a 2023 baby boom.
Oh, fun.
And getting back to simple things, more humor, more mindfulness.
Humor is just throwing. Give me humor all the time.
Right. So I think we're well set to start the new year. We've shared our resolutions and we've heard from our friends. So here we go. Let's have fun. And I think you have some fun things now.
Well, yes. And thank you to all our listeners who sent those in. Those are good. Really good. All right. Are you ready for it? And I always feel like I'm a little bit, not that I'm younger, but I want to listen to my hit tunes and I'm trying to get a little more in the know with TikTok, which we've talked about before. So are you ready?
Yes. And this is good for me because I don't really do any of that. So great.
It's sort of fun. And I must say, and I kudos to the millennials and really these Gen Zers. They're very clever with these. I mean, this takes creative, clever minds. And I'm always somewhat just like, wow, you guys are pretty good at this. All right, here we go. Many of them deal with the new year, of course. The first one that is like trending all over the place, millions of views, is #time blocking. Now, what makes me chuckle with this, God love our sweet little Gen Zers and millennials, they feel like they've come up with the concept of time blocking, putting down blocks of time and what you want to do with them. I feel like this really dates back to Franklin Planner in 1984.
Oh, yes. Those were so big. Oh, yes. I love all that kind of stuff, right?
So, but I just have to chuckle because you go all over TikTok and you see this and they're showing their pieces of paper and their little books and their little planners and all, for 1 to 2, I'm going to do this. And I thought, pretty sure I did this in 1984, but good for you for bringing it back. All
and
right.
they're actually doing it on paper.
I don't know. I said paper. They show things. I think some are on paper, but some could be on their phones, etc. Anyway.
So they're blocking out their whole day.
Yep.
And then somehow checking them off, or
I guess. But it's hashtag time blocking on TikTok. So pretty much it turned Franklin Covey in 97. But yeah.
Yes. Oh, that was, and you could buy leather binders and big ones and little ones and all kinds of papers to add in. And
I still have one. And
in a bin.
In a bin. I actually probably have 2 binders. So now I'm feeling real trendy. I got my big time blocker. So there you go.
Oh, yes. Find those. Okay. That's fascinating. What else you got?
Here we go. Number 2. Hashtag, because they hashtag all this stuff. Hashtag that girl 2022. This is more for us females. Sorry, guys, but you can listen to. And it's like all their things they want to do in 22 that will improve their life. Now, what I find interesting, and usually these things have music behind them and they're just short little blips. They're very entertaining. What was big is they're healthy and wonderful. I'm proud of everyone. Lemon water kept coming up on the list of things to do. Drinking a gallon of water comes up on the list. My one daughter does that. And I just chuckled with this. Making your bed every day. Now, and cleaning your room. These are things the boomer parents have been telling our kids forever. And now it's turned into a hashtag that girl 2022. Fascinating.
Great. And they block time for that, right? So they'd have a bed.
I'm sure they do. Now, what makes me chuckle is that my one daughter sent me a beautiful picture of, she got this for Christmas, new comforter, bedspread, the whole bit. Her bed is just beautifully made, perfectly made, looks like something in a hotel. And she sent that out on Snapchat the other day. And I thought, you're being that hashtag that girl 2022.
Creating a beautiful bed and
and drinking lemon water and a gallon of water. Oh, and also in this is you're supposed to find your signature scent.
Huh.
I know. And you'll be pleased to know this, reading more.
Oh, I am.
So those are all the things.
Block off time for that. I have to just, before I forget, tell you that Jessie over in Wales did let me know. Remember in our Christmas episode, you were saying that some people switch out and put in like holiday type bedding.
Yes. Like the flannel Christmas sheets. Yes.
Right. Or a comforter that has some holiday motif. Jessie does that.
Wow. Does she really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would feel like such the wonderful, fabulous hostess and adult if I would do that for.
I think we add that to our list. We'll get bins of bedding.
Bins and bedding. It's a B, so it works.
It does.
All right.
Well, that's amazing. And blocking your time. You are really right with this bee trend.
I know.
Blocking your time.
I'm into the bees. Books. Now.
Bins. Go.
Here's another TikTok trend. I don't think I can do it well, but it's hysterical. This is not really predictions or resolutions. It's called hashtag it must be nice. It must be nice.
All right.
Okay. What on earth does this mean, Jean? They have these people, and the song in the background is Charlie Wilson, who sings this. Kind of raps it. And it's whenever you're looking at somebody else and they have something that you think is a little better, like they'll show an example of a person comes to someone's house and the house is like fabulous and huge, and the girl says like, it must be nice. Sort of that longing for something else, but it's hysterical. And they do it in this voice that this Charlie Wilson guy says. And it must be nice. I'm trying to be like you, my boy. I don't know what this really means, if it's something bad in the song, but it must be nice. I'm trying to, Tryna, be like you, my boy. But they're very fun to look at. You should pull them up. Get on TikTok. I'm telling you, it's fun.
It must be nice that you do this. It must be nice for you. Well, I do love our podcast time together. That I can say. It must be nice to have a podcast, and it is.
And it is, right. So if you're out there and you want to start your own podcast, it must be nice. Trying to be like
right.
you.
And you should contact Pat, the producer.
Yes.
Who is Pat Rulo at speakup.com radio, and we want to thank her.
Yes, we do. We always do. And you can find us on, what can you find? It's been forever since I said this.
Well, the name of our podcast is OK Boomer Podcast.
Yes.
3 words. And it's okboomer.com is the best place to start. We are on Twitter and Facebook.
Yep.
And every podcast app.
Yep. I can't believe it's nearing our end.
It is at the end. Pat's probably ready to unplug us. So let's say toodles.
Toodles, toodaloo. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.
Be sure to come back to beautiful Ohio and the OK Boomer podcast. To listen to previous episodes or to drop us a line, visit okboomerpod.com.